different voices on your pod doesn't really do anything for the people's perception of you that aren't your fans.
Wait, say it one more time so I hear it.
So we probably, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like we probably think like I'm going to have different voices on my podcast. And like, one, I'm curious and I want to know what they think. But two, I want to also like let the people out there in the world know like I care about hearing from different people.
Yeah.
And I care about having diversity of thought on my podcast, right? The people that don't know you, the casuals, are just judging you by the worst thing you've ever had on your podcast.
Right.
And the worst thing you've ever said.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't realize this until recently. The best way to like thwart those perceptions of you is not by having people on your show, because the casuals don't watch your show. It's by going to your biggest critics show and sitting down with them.
So Andrew Schulz, we know, has been going to every podcast he can get his hand on. And that's fine because he talks about a lot of different things and I'm like, I'm here for it. He is a little subversive in a few ways, but it is what it is. Andrew Schulz sat down with Theo and called out Hasan Piker. Kind of called him out, I guess because they don't get along, and Hasan Piker's audience really must hate Andrew Schulz. Andrew Schulz and Theo also get into other topics besides just Hasan Piker. They also get into topics about other people. Of course, it kind of sways over to the right and kind of discussions over there. But what's new? But Andrew Schulz does school Theo about, talking to people on the other side. And I believe that Theo is starting to realize that this is an important thing to do. Not starting to. I mean, he's already been doing this, obviously, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the rest of this video.
Or not even your biggest critic, but like going to somebody who like might have a very different like worldview than you. And then you guys sit down and realize, oh shit, we actually don't have that different a worldview.
Yeah.
That was all a perception. Anyway, I think a lot of times we go, okay, we're really busy. It's like hard for us to go around and do different shows and that kind of stuff. Because I think our perception is not going like, how can I be the most famous person? Like, I don't give a fuck. I want to make the coolest stand-up that I possibly can. I want to hang out with my friends and I want to talk some shit on podcasts. Like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
But I've realized the importance now of going to other people's homes and having those conversations. Like we had Hasan on our pod. It probably would have been more beneficial for me to also go on his stream and talk to him and let him bring up shit that I said and like tell me, and have him tell me like why I'm missing this like nuanced point and be like, oh, that's interesting. Like that might actually be better for the people that barely understand me or don't even know me, to have like a more holistic view of me and like understand who I am.
Right, to actually go into their world a little bit more.
Yeah, because then you find things about me that might not come up on the pod.
Yeah.
Like you start asking me things about like how I feel about, I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know if it's fucking like Marxism or some shit like that. And I go, oh yeah, maybe that, actually that kind of sounds good on paper.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of course it sounds good on paper to you. Now listen, so by the way, guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. And thank you to every eye that lands on this video. Now, the point that he's making here, it is a good point that people should get a right to explain themselves. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I do think he did have Nick Fuentes on his show. You know why I always bring this person up? Because somebody will be like, oh, you bring him up all the time, but we say these things, but here's my litmus test for a lot of people who claim to believe in free speech or even have a point like this, like, well, we should talk to people and see really what they meant to say. Basically, that's what he's saying, right? So will you have that person on your show? Now, I think he did, so I'm going to check, and I will tell you if he did, because I do think they had a conversation. Because that might have been the first time I heard about Andrew Schulz, but I could be wrong. But his point is valid.
It'd be nice if there was a little bit more equality for people, and people who had nothing had the ability to come up. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, a little light Marxism, yeah.
Just light. Nah, you know what I mean? Hey, you got to cut it with something. You need majority capitalism. It's like a cappuccino. You know what I mean? You can't have, we're not taking espresso shots of Marxism, you know what I mean? But it's just, we like capitalism at the end of the day.
Yeah, just a fucking latte. Just, half calf.
Exactly.
Yeah. Damn, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely been, mainstream media just got so, like, I don't know. The whole thing has been bizarre, man. Being a part of podcasting, all the strange little connections that are out there. I mean, like you were saying, Gavin Newsom just started a podcast where he's having people who kind of disagree with him, and he had Charlie Kirk on.
I think it's a really smart thing.
Which is pretty wild,
I think it's a really smart thing.
We're talking about that at the beginning, and Dove, your producer, said that, he felt like this was kind of Newsom's last hope, too. It's like, because he's probably on the way out, so unless he could do something to salvage that.
100%.
But having a podcast and just having people you don't agree with hang out with you for a while it's pretty brave.
It's also like, that's the exact word I was going to, it's like brave. You want to show bravery. And I think like, not to be political or whatever, but I think in the last, again, I don't care about politics, but like culture is interesting to me. But I think in the last, election with the podcast run, and I just want to say, personally, I don't think that we changed the election at all.
I agree 100%.
I have no ego about that. That was decided way before us.
Yeah.
Like it maybe made people feel more comfortable voicing how they were already going to vote. But I don't think people were watching like, I'm completely flipped on this.
Yeah, that's insane also.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that the lack of representation of Kamala and even like her constituents on the podcast run, I think it showed a lack of bravery. Like the feeling was like, oh, they're scared to go have potentially tough conversations. It wasn't even going to be tough with us.
I know.
What are we going to grill her on?
So the thing,
I couldn't even think.
So again, about dialogue, very important, good to talk about, good to have. We definitely want dialogue all day. I think that the podcast move was part of a bigger operation to make it look medially appropriate from the media that Trump won. I have my bias. I have a lot of thoughts about that election, but I am in a very small minority. However, it is what it is. Here we are today. I'm not saying it's the worst thing or anything like that, but I'm sorry. I live in Pennsylvania. Act 77 is still a thing. So, sorry. I question a lot. And I live well, but I question a lot. So, anyway, coming back to the point, though, yes, definitely what happens with podcasts and independent media and all of that is you get the chance to influence people. So, even though if a person, influencing is so powerful, that I don't think everybody should be allowed to do it. However, of course, I can't stop people from talking, but I respect it. I respect it more and more every day.
Think of a thing. I mean, I heard that she roller skated a lot, and I would be curious.
By the way, I don't think Nick and Andrew never sat down together. I don't think it was Andrew. It was this other guy, PD or something like that, who like looks like Nick, or Andrew, but it wasn't Andrew.
Curious about that, but it's like. Other than that, it's like, I don't know what I would have talked about.
But her people are going, we can't go on Theo. I mean, he's just going to come with the hard-hitting questions.
Like, what? Right, like something like that is insane.
Yeah, but don't you appreciate that? Like, as much as Gavin Newsom just seems like a plastic bag in the wind, I'm also like, hey, it's brave. You're willing to sit down on something recorded.
I went and talked to Charlie Kirk.
That motherfucker is a good arguer.
I know, dude.
Candace, too. Candace, I always say, Rogan said Candace is John Wick. You do not get in her fucking way.
She waters down stuff, too. I know how it sounds saying that, but she it's okay. She's getting her bag, and that's good. But Charlie Kirk, please, he's the weakest conservative. That's because y'all not in the base, whatever that is. Please.
Oh, she's definitely, yeah.
When you said
real quick, let me just say, Charlie Kirk serves a purpose. Listen, I respect everything people go through to get to where they have to get. So I'm not going to minimize it and make it seem like he's sitting in his garage talking into a mic. Okay? So I want to be very clear about that. However, people do not respect the blessing that the Lord gives them when they have ears that are listening and they just say whatever. I'm sorry, that is a crime to me. So that's when I lose complete respect for you.
her kid looked like Anthony Smith, I was like, you better. I was like, you a crazy motherfucker right here, bro.
That daughter, and look, a beautiful kid. The daughter looks just like
you
Anthony
just stop
Smith.
it beautiful. That's what you do. You stop it beautiful because you do not want Candace to get fixated. Okay, you do not want her to get fixated. The second she comes up with a Theo video, you gotta hope something happens in Israel Palestine. Shift the attention.
Okay.
Gazaun type. I need a fucking.
Bro, that was layered because you made a German as well.
I brought that in. I can't believe
was
that happened.
good.
Thank you, dude.
Gesundheit is good.
I did not believe that was going to come up. I just started with Gaza, and then I was like, this won't be funny.
I hope people get how layered that is. That
Thank
is
you,
good.
dude. That was teamwork, though.
I don't know about that.
It really
I think
was,
you
dude.
went 101 right there.
I said that her daughter looks a
She's
little bit
beautiful.
like... the daughter is beautiful.
So I think what we got to say is that Anthony Smith is a beautiful little girl. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the better way of describing. He's a savage fighter.
He's the fisty Charlemagne.
Anyway, they did talk about it a little bit more. I'm gonna try to find it on Twitter because that's where I do go to. Sorry, guys, you are seeing the back of the back end because I'm not going to edit any of it. I'm so freaking. All right, here we go. Shout out to Village Crazy Lady Mel, guys. Please, if you're not following Mel, please go follow. If you're not following Mel, please go follow Mel.
We value freedom. Like, I don't think we would ever accept being controlled by another country. And I think that the majority of us would rather die before that happened.
Right.
I think it's
we just don't know that it's happening.
Oh, here you go again. Theo, here you go. Theo, what country are you talking about? Theo. Candace, see what you started, Candace. Theo, what are you talking about right now, Theo? Theo?
Look, I'm Whoopi Goldberg. We're going to go to commercial break right now, guys.
It pains me. It does. But it is what it is. Village, they call her Village Crazy Lady. She's a sweetheart. Mel is the bomb. Mel says it's okay to not know. But once you do know, it's not okay to pretend you don't. Shout out to Mel. And that's a lot of what we're seeing happening here in this clip. I mean, I guess, right? Because, like, at the end of the day, people live a certain way. Like, look, I am not one who hates, I'm not one who hates on people for how they got their bag. And I say this all the time. And I get that these kind of discussions are not popular. But I do believe that when you push through the initial resistance that you're going to get because you're talking about something like this, and then you really keep it real with yourself and you keep it real with your audience, you will tap into a gold mine in the name of the Lord. It is the promises of the Lord to stand with the truth, and the truth is, standing with the truth is as close to standing with Christ to me, because Christ was the way, the life, and the truth, right? So if I have this truth if we know this thing and we don't talk about it, we purposely take it on as our master because we are afraid of it. And this is exactly how I feel. That is how I feel about the Israel lobby. I do. Because people will not talk about it, or they'll look the other way. And I'm not one who can I cannot live in a simulation and think that this is okay, like think it's normal. Like, how many of our elected officials are owned by AIPAC? Like, come on, seriously? This is not how a country is supposed to run. I don't want any country having any kind of infiltration and influence in my country. But yet this one does. And people say, you're so obsessed with it. Well, what do you want me to do? I'm American. What do you want me to do? I want the best for America. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.